I'm always grateful, and I have to pinch myself for the love and the appreciation and the respect that we get from our.
The drama on the set of Disney's live-action Snow White appears to be spiraling far beyond the screen, as tensions between lead actresses Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot have reportedly reached an all-time high. The two stars, who portray Snow White and the Evil Queen, respectively, have seemingly found themselves embroiled in a bitter feud, not just due to their opposing roles but also because of their starkly different political stances regarding the ongoing Middle East conflict. What initially began as whispers of on-set tension has now evolved into a full-blown controversy that's taking center stage just as the film's release draws near. As the anticipation for this modern take on the beloved Disney classic grows, so does the buzz surrounding the rumored discord between Zegler and Gadot. The actresses have subtly hinted at their disdain for each other through a series of social media posts, which have left fans divided and speculating about the extent of their off-screen rivalry. With the release of the film's trailer on August 10th, what should have been a celebratory moment for Disney has instead become a lightning rod for controversy, stirring debates not just about the production itself but also about the political beliefs of its stars. Rachel Zegler, known for her outspoken activism, has been vocal about her support for Palestine, while her co-star Gal Gadot has made no secret of her unwavering support for Israel. Gadot's ties to her homeland are well known. She even served in the Israeli Defense Forces, which has further intensified the backlash against her in certain circles. This political divide between the actresses has added a new layer of complexity to the already tense atmosphere surrounding the movie's promotion. The situation escalated even further when, just 2 days after the trailer's release, Rachel Zegler took to Twitter to thank her fans for their continued support and concluded her message with a politically charged statement, tweeting, "And always remember, free Palestine." This message was seen by many as not just a reaffirmation of her pro-Palestinian stance, but possibly a direct dig at her co-star Gadot, who has consistently championed pro-Israel views. The tweet quickly went viral, with fans and critics alike weighing in on the implications of Zegler's comment and its impact on her working relationship with Gadot. The online discourse around this feud is growing just as divisive as the actress's own beliefs. On one side, some fans criticize both Zegler and Gadot for allowing their personal political opinions to seep into the realm of entertainment, arguing that Disney's aim should be to bring the magic of an animated classic to life without being overshadowed by real-world politics. Others, however, have defended the actress's right to express their views, even adding to the controversy. Many Disney enthusiasts have expressed their disappointment not only with the film's production and casting choices, but also with how the promotional efforts have been handled amid the rising tension between its two stars. For some die-hard Disney fans, the sour dynamic between Zegler and Gadot has overshadowed their excitement for the film itself, turning what was once a childhood favorite into a battleground of political ideologies, if it leads to uncomfortable conversations within the industry. As the press tours for Snow White approach, all eyes will be on how Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot navigate their public appearances together, given their polarizing stances and the very real animosity between them. The prospect of seeing these two actresses side by side promoting a film that is supposed to symbolize unity and fantasy seems increasingly fraught with tension. For many, the question is not just whether the movie will succeed but whether the off-screen drama will ultimately steal the spotlight from the film itself. This unfolding saga has left the entertainment world on edge, with many wondering how Disney will handle the controversy moving forward. Will the studio address the political divide between its stars, or will it attempt to downplay their differences in hopes of keeping the focus on the film? Regardless, the tension between Zegler and Gadot is becoming one of the most talked about aspects of the upcoming Snow White remake, and it's clear that this drama has become as captivating as any fairy tale ever told. The conflict between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, both starring in Disney's upcoming live-action adaptation of Snow White, has taken a dramatic turn as political tensions between the two actresses seem to have come to a head. What was once a professional relationship on the set has now developed into a very public disagreement, driven largely by their starkly contrasting political views regarding the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. Rachel Zegler, who has already wrapped up filming and even participated in press events alongside Gadot, has found herself at odds with her co-star as global tensions rise. Their social media activity has become increasingly charged, revealing the growing rift between them. For those who have been keeping an eye on their digital exchanges, Zegler's recent tweets were far from surprising, She has been outspoken in her support for Palestine since 2021, long before the current conflict gained momentum. Zegler's advocacy for Palestine began with a tweet in 2021, where she openly declared, "It will always be free Palestine," making her stance unmistakable to her millions of followers. This message has set the tone for her continuous support, which has only intensified in light of the recent 2023 Israel-Hamas conflict. Zegler's social media has been a hub for activism, as she shares resources, encourages her followers to donate, and pushes for a ceasefire. Her posts are not limited to Twitter but extend to Instagram stories, where she passionately calls on her audience to take meaningful action. Her message is clear: have you donated today? Have you called your government leaders to put pressure on world leaders to call for a ceasefire? Your activism should go beyond your social media. In stark contrast, Gal Gadot has been just as vocal in her unwavering support for Israel. A former combat fitness instructor in the Israeli. Despite the growing animosity, neither Gadot nor Zegler has directly addressed the rumored feud in any official capacity. They appear to be keeping their disagreements private, at least publicly, to maintain a professional front as the film's release date approaches. However, the tension between them is palpable, and fans are left wondering how these two will manage to coexist during the inevitable press tours. Defense Forces IDF, Gadot's connection to Israel runs deep, shaping her views and her dedication to defending her homeland. Since her rise to global fame through her role as Wonder Woman, Gadot has consistently used her platform to express pride in her roots and to advocate for the Zionist perspective. Her history of public support goes back to 2014, when she posted on Facebook during a period of conflict between Israel and Hamas. Her words then were filled with emotion: "I am sending my love and prayers to my fellow Israeli citizens, especially to all the boys and girls who are risking their lives protecting my country against the horrific acts conducted by Hamas, who are hiding like cowards behind women and children. We shall overcome. Shabbat Shalom." Over the years, Gadot's dedication to Israel's cause has remained steady, even as the conflicts have continued. During the 2021 clashes between Israel and Palestine, Gadot once again voiced her support for Israel's right to exist as a safe and free nation, while expressing sorrow for the loss of life on both sides. More recently, following Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, Gadot posted a powerful message on Instagram, stating, "I stand with Israel, and you should too. The world cannot sit on the fence when these horrific acts of terror are happening." Her activism also included signing an open letter to President Joe Biden, urging the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas, and organizing a screening of the documentary Bearing Witness, which highlights the impact of the attacks on Israeli civilians. Given their opposing views, it's not surprising that fans are anxious about how Zegler and Gadot will handle their promotional duties for Snow White. The actresses have not shied away from making veiled remarks on social media, adding more tension to the already charged atmosphere. For example, following the release of the Snow White trailer, Gadot posted a quote from Martin Luther King Jr.: "Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that." Many interpreted this as a subtle dig at Zegler, who had tweeted her support for Palestine around the same time. The situation escalated on August 15, when Gadot retweeted a message that openly criticized Zegler. The tweet accused Zegler of exploiting her co-star's real-life experiences to gain favor with a younger audience, stating, "Trying to campaign on the head of your co-star who actually lives through a war, just so you'll look cooler with the kids, is really pathetic." Although the retweet was quickly deleted, the damage was done. Fans speculated whether the retweet was a slip-up by Gadot herself or a misstep by her PR team. Either way, it provided a glimpse into the frustration Gadot, or at least her camp, feels toward Zegler. This incident also led to a flurry of reactions online, with many fans criticizing Gadot's handling of the situation. Some pointed out that Gadot's Instagram page has become a breeding ground for negative comments about Zegler, while any criticism of Gadot herself seems to be swiftly deleted or limited. Critics argue that this behavior only serves to deepen the divide between the two actresses, making their professional collaboration on Snow White seem all the more strained. As Snow White heads into its promotional phase, the awkwardness between Gadot and Zegler is expected to be on full display. Observers have already noted how Zegler's enthusiasm seems to have waned whenever she and Gadot are required to share the spotlight. At recent promotional events, the discomfort was evident, with Zegler appearing less engaged and visibly uneasy around Gadot. This change in demeanor has sparked discussions among fans about whether Zegler's initial excitement for the project has been dampened by her growing conflict with her co-star. Interestingly, some fans have pointed out that Zegler must have been aware of Gadot's political stance before signing on to the project, leading to criticism that Zegler might have been hypocritical in her public outcry. Others defended her, arguing that her stance is purely political and not a personal attack against Gadot. Regardless of these differing opinions, it's clear that the divide between them is influencing public perception of the film. The situation has put Disney in a tricky position. The studio's attempts to keep the focus on the movie, rather than the off-screen drama, have been complicated by the actress's social media activities. Both Zegler and Gadot's vocal support for their respective causes has sparked a debate about whether their political differences should affect the promotion of a film intended for a global audience. As the Snow White press tour gears up, the spotlight will not only be on the movie itself, but also on the dynamic between its two leads. Fans are eagerly watching to see how they will handle the inevitable questions about their political views, and whether their differences will overshadow the film. The question remains, will Zegler and Gadot be able to put aside their differences long enough to promote their film, or will their ideological clash become the main story, eclipsing the fairy tale they were hired to bring to life? This brewing conflict between Zegler and Gadot has not only polarized fans but also reignited the debate about the role of celebrity activism. As public figures, their opinions reach millions and have a significant impact on how global issues are perceived. The current situation raises questions about whether celebrities should use their platforms to influence political discourse, or whether they should focus solely on their art. Regardless of where one stands on this issue, the Zegler-Gadot feud is a stark reminder that even the world of fairy tales is not immune to the complexities of real-world conflicts. In the end, the unfolding drama between these two actresses has become almost as captivating as the film itself. Whether or not they will successfully navigate the press tour without further controversy remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the story of Snow White is now entwined with a narrative far more complicated and divisive than any classic Disney tale.